Hello, everyone. In this session, I'm going to show you how to install Linux Ubuntu version 23.10. That's the latest and greatest version of Linux Ubuntu 23.10. And the kernel build is 6.5. And the code name is Amantic Minotaur. So this is a very nice Linux version that is replacing the 22.02 long-term support. It is a built version of 6.5 kernel. It is much nicer in the sense of the kernel is upgraded, and it also has the nicest features and a lot of nice different features that is not on that 22.04, and that I'm going to show you as well. And then we're gonna go through the installation, and then you're watching it. Excuse me, you're watching it at MyWebUniversity, my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your subscription. So let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna show you is I'm going to show you the website. The website that I downloaded Linux Ubuntu 23. 0.10 version is from ubuntu.com. You click on the developers here, and once you click on the developers, you can see Ubuntu desktop. Whether you download the desktop or the server, doesn't matter. It's the software that makes it a desktop or a server. If you install the server side of the software, then you have a Linux server running. If you have the desktop only, the client sites, then you have the clients. Disregard to what you install, some of the server application like OpenSSH and other daemons by default are going to be enabled, or just you can start them after enabling them. So at this time, I'm going to show you the download page here. You can click on the download page. By default, they give you the 22.04 long-term support. When it says long-term support, that means it came on 2022, and then it is good until April 27 of year 2027. So these are the details of Linux Ubuntu 22.04 that we have been demonstrating in a number of other videos. I'm going to click on the download Ubuntu here, and then you can see now the desktop downloads or the 22.04 long-term support, as well as the 23.10, the latest and greatest that I'm going to do it today. And this is also good until update or available for July 24th. And then this is really nice because this one also has the GNOME 45 as well as the kernel build of 6.5. So as I showed you earlier, let's get to the page where I have. If you click on this page to download it, it's for the version 23.10 is this one. You click on this download page and it comes in on your download directory. So if I go on my download directory here, this is the version of the 4.8 gigabyte ISO image that I could use and install it on my machine. So let's open a command prompt here on the Windows operating system. As you can see, my host operating system is Windows, and the version that I'm running is Windows 11 professional version. So with this command saying system information, pipe it to find the string /I, ignore the case OS name, you can see that it is showing that Microsoft Windows Professional Edition, Professional Edition of Windows 11. And then the build version is 10.0. As you can see here, if I type in CMD, you will see the build version there. Every time you type CMD, it opens a command prompt. So I opened two of them. I can exit once, I exit the second time. If I exit again, it's going to close my terminal. So in order for me to see the memory, I can also open here the command prompt and type in the same command that I did, system info, and then this time I could say find or find a string or find, and just that's good enough. Look for the memory. So you can see I have 32 gig memory, and that's a lot memory available for me for resources. As well as if I close this one, I can also get this information for the about page. So about your PC, you can get it the same thing. You can see 32 gigabyte and the 11th generation Intel Core 3.4 gigahertz. You can get it the host name. A lot of the information, whether you get it from the command line or like for example, here on the command line, you could say host name and say algorithm there. And if here just go on the GUI, you can see that one. Also, if you look at the device manager, for example, you can also get the process information and details here too. So what you need to know is that how many processor you have and what are the speed, 3.4 gigahertz, 8 of the cores that I have is Intel 7th generation, and then 11th generation of Intel Core i7 with 3.4 gigahertz, 8 of them. So that means I can just configure my local machine to just say, well, I have enough resource to just install this one. And since this is on the download directory, I looked at it. When I click on it, I can just use the VirtualBox. This is the VirtualBox software. So the host operating system is Windows, and then the software that makes it available for me to install a virtual machine is called VirtualBox 7, and it's by Oracle Corporation. And then this virtual box software is like VMware hypervisor. So VirtualBox allows me to create as many VMs. These are the virtual machine or VMs that we talk about. On every VM, you have some settings and resources that we create for them. So on this one, if I click on new, then I just say, I want to do a Linux Ubuntu, Linux, let's say, I'm going to say Linux, or just I could call it Ubuntu rather than Linux. I could say Ubuntu 2310. That's good enough for the name, or our Ubuntu. Whatever name you want to do, that's up to you. You can do that one. I just choose Ubuntu 23 for this one, or I could just say, let's just call it our Linux. That's a nice name also, or our Ubuntu. Our Ubuntu. That's a very nice name because we love Ubuntu. So our Ubuntu is a good name for it. And it's a 64-bit, and then it's a Linux type. And then everything looks here good. And this is the folder where we are going to create the virtual VMDK file, virtual disk image. All the configuration files will be created under user's Wahid profile under VirtualBox VMs directly. So I'm going to click next here. At this time, I need to allocate the memory. Like I showed you, I said that I have 32 gig. So I'm going to allocate about 16 gig. 16384, that's about 16 gig. So I'm going to allocate that one in the processor. And instead of one, I'm going to allocate 4 of them. I have 8 processor, 8 CPUs. I'm going to do half of it for this one. Whenever the VM is not running, you're not using the resources. So at one point, I could allocate the host operating system 16 gig and the other 16 gig for the guest operating system, and they will be very, very efficient to run and then smooth processes. So at this time, the disk by default is 25 gig. I'm gonna just make it like 100, let's say 112 or 105. 105.85 is good enough for me. I'm gonna go with that, and then these other ones are, if you have existing disk, you can just pre-allocate the disk to grow dynamically pre-allocated, meaning that it's going to grow as early as you want. But if you don't select it, then as the disks are used, dynamically, it will go up and down. So right here, I'm gonna just say next. And this is my summary at this time. So the name of the host is our Ubuntu. And this is the directory where our Ubuntu will be installed. And then it's a 64-bit and 16 gigabyte of memory for processor. And then the E5 is false. And then the disk size is 105 gig. And pre-allocated full size is also false. So then I'm going to say finish. And now it is ready for me to start it. As you can see here on the setting of this one, this is the details of the summary that we just look at it. You can also click on setting here and then go on each of them separate. For example, if I look at this systems, 16 gigabyte of memory, all the devices here are available, and then the processor is full processor, and then extended capabilities 100%, and the display, I'm going to change the display from video memory from 16 megabyte to all the way to 128 gig. So the display have a little bit more memory for the rendering that should be happening. And then the storage wise, everything, I could just mount the ISO image. And then when I say start, it will just start it. If I just mount it here, I could mount it, and the network, I could say NAT or bridge. Now, network address translation is fine on the default option. If I want to just bridge it out, you can bridge it out also. But at this time, I'm going to leave the default option. The USB drive are also default. So audio is default, everything else is default. I'm gonna just say, okay, that's good. Let's just say okay on this one. And then at this time, if I click on the start, it's gonna just prompt me for the ISO image to be mounted. Because ISO image, I did not select it yet. So I'm gonna say next here. And then here you can see it is saying that you need to select the virtual disk image, DVD. So since I downloaded the Ubuntu 23.10 desktop ISO at this directory that I showed you here, I just select that one. Do not show this one again. I'm not gonna click on that one. It's a mount and we try to reboot. Now it's gonna mount it and it's gonna reboot it. And at this time, if you look at this scale mode, it is saying that try or install it Ubuntu safe graphic test memory. I don't want to test memory. I don't want to do Ubuntu and a graphic option. I want to just do installation. So try or install it is one option. But at the time that when you do it, it's going to prompt you whether you want to try it from the ISO image or you want to actually install it on your hard drive. Yeah, we're going to install it on our hard drive, so we're going to select that option. This mouse integration notification is okay, fine. At this time, it's trying to just mount the ISO image, and it's going to try to just start the boot process. If this was a little bit time consuming, depending on your hardware, you just have to be patient. So in this case, I know that this is going to take a couple of minutes sometimes. Sometimes it's slower. So I'm going to just pause it and then I'll start it again once the screen refreshes. I don't want you to see the black screen. As I was talking, it changed the black screen. So I'll just let it go and then we continue with this part here. So the good news is this preparation is done. Now it is prompting me to just say, select the keyboard, which is English in this case. And then now it says install Ubuntu or try it. Since I want to install it, I choose the first option. If we were trying to just do it from ISO image, then you would try the Ubuntu. In this case, we're going to try to install it on the hard disk. So I click the first option. And then this one is going to say, choose your keyboard layout. English is United States is the one. If you're in Canada, obviously English, United Canada. And other part of like Africa, South Africa, English, South Africa. But we're in the US. I'm in California, so I'm gonna choose English US. And then here it's gonna check for the connection. Since I'm connected through the wired and it's gonna detect NAT on the connection, so it's going to try that one. At this point, I wanna just do the get version and this update to the version of 0 get. I'm going to do that one. I'm not gonna skip it. If you skip it, if some software hangs or something, it's good to just install the default one that it says that this is what it's gonna do. Now it's gonna say restart, and I click on the restart. And then again, it says English, next, next. And then use wired, so I'm gonna do that. This time it's not gonna say that one, it's gonna come up with default installation, which is a minimum installation, but I wanna do a full installation with everything included, as well as the device drivers, third-party software. So I'm gonna choose a full installation, which is like LibreOffice and all other tools that comes in, all the software that comes in, graphic, Wi-Fi, and device driver, everything is this select full installation, and then these two check boxes. You check it. At this time, it's gonna say erase the disk. If I just say continue next, it's gonna install it and it's gonna choose logical volume XFS. But I want to just click on the advanced feature here. I want to just do a ZFS, zettabyte file system, because zettabyte file system was built by Sun Microsystem, and it's very good, efficient file system, 128-bit. It has encryption on, and it has snapshot on copy on write option, as well as 128-bit, as I mentioned. It is very efficient file system. The storage, as you can see, the name is called zettabyte file system, which you will never run out of space on the storage, including support for a large file transfer and large file system and everything. So we're gonna click on OK on this one to use the ZFS experimental. And ZFS is also supported on Sun Microsystem, Solaris, as well as Mac OS X. ZFS is also one of the file systems that are extensively supported there for a while. And then erase the disk. I'm going to say, go ahead, erase the disk. So it's gonna just prompt me that the SDA1, which is SDA1, SDA2, SDA3, and SDA4 will be created in this one. The partition, one of them are going to be mounted as a swap, and the rest of them is the file system, the root and boot and everything. So I'm going to just choose that one next. When you click next, and it's gonna detect your zone where you're located. Since I'm in America, Los Angeles County, it's in California, it's Pacific Standard Time, and that already detected the right one. I'm going to say my name is Wahidullah. It's hard to read that one, but I could understand that one. So your computer's name, I'm gonna call it our Linux, or just call it our Ubuntu. Our Ubuntu, I believe I can see OUROBUNTU, or Ubuntu. And then the full name is Wahidullah, that's fine. Your name is Wahidullah. I could just call it for short Wahid or Wahidullah, that's fine. And I'm gonna just choose pick a username. The username, I wanna keep it short, so I'm gonna just type in Wahid. My name is Wahid, my full name is Wahidullah. Wahidullah means there's only one God. Wahid means one. Allah is the name of God. There's only one God. That's when we say Wahidullah. So I'm gonna type in my password, and the password has to be secure and safe and long enough password. and not short password, not just combination of names or anything. It is uppercase, lowercase combination with some non-ASCII characters and some special characters and so on. I'm not gonna use LDAP actually or Active Directory. I'm going to just install it on this VM. Require my password to log in. Yes, that's okay. And then everything else is checked already, so I'm gonna click next. And then here I have the options, whether I wanted the light version or the dark theme. So the theme that I have by default is white. And then I could just continue with that one. At some point, it just says that you can always change it on the appearance under setting. So it's your choice if you wanna do it later. And this is right now, it says fast, free, and full of new features. So some of the features that Ubuntu 23.10 has, it's showing you on this next menu right here. If you click on it, all the application you need to install, for example, Spotify, shortcuts, Telegram, Next Cloud, which is like Google Cloud stuff or something like Visual Studio Code or PyCharm, all of those ones are there. So I could just click on next. If you want to play games, you can play games here. Those are the software that will be installed for games. And then private and security, Firefox, Chromium, and then Opera. All of those ones are available. And these other additional WireGuard and other software that are there. And then power up on your productivity. 66% of developer prefer Ubuntu. I'm one of those 66%. I prefer Ubuntu, but I love at the same time Ubuntu, OpenSUSE, Red Hat, Solaris, Mac, Linux, Rocky, Linux. Red Hat, as I mentioned, CentOS, a lot of them are very great software. You can just play around with them. Access for everyone, that's so true. And then help on the supported. There's a lot of help on the software also. Right here also for the activity, they change it to this bar. And then when you click on it, you could just actually see the entire menu here that are coming with options when you install it. At the time of installation, when it comes in, you have Firefox, you have Thunderbird, you have files for file manager, you have LibreOffice software, and you have software update or app center, help, and then trash, and then show apps. So each one of them, as they get installed, for example, when I click on show apps, this is what you get. Or if you look at the list of update for software, the software center, it is really cool. You can install all the software. For example, if you want to just install code, Visual Studio Code, you type in code here and this Visual Studio Code comes in. If you want to install PyCharm for Python, IDE, PyCharm, and you can see PyCharm community. The professional edition is cost, but community version is free. Similarly, if you want to just install some other software like LibreOffice, you can see when you type in LibreOffice, it comes in this product. And similarly, if like you do firmware for the kernel and then firmware, when you type in the name, it just show you what's available there, okay? And you can also click on all of these features and see what are the software that are available to you for each one of them. And then you can go to productivity, get a list of software that are there. And if I just maximize this window, it's a little bit better because a lot of the icons and much readable. Like for example, Opera is there, Chromium is there, right here, and then Firefox. At least three kind of browsers available to you, depending on the choice that you want to do. Whether you want Chromium, Google, or Firefox or Opera. And then on the developers, there's a lot of nice stuff. Visual Studio Code is very good for C, C++, Python, C Sharp, and all the combination of JavaScript, HTML, everything. And then PyCharm community is for Python. You can use that one. There's a lot of other ones. Sublime Text is a little bit outdated now. People either use Vim or Visual Studio Code or PyCharm, but still there are some developers that use Sublime. Eclipse is good for Java and JavaScript and other C, C++ also. This is also another good IDE. So there's a lot of stuff, IDE community. There's a lot of them. You can just look at them, and whichever one interests you, LaTeX Editor and so on, Space, Crystal. There's so many CMake and okay, Belt stuff. And then also for games, if you're a game person, you can just get a list of these games that interest you, and then install it and play around with it. So if I close this one, you can see that this one, Ubuntu, is going through the installation, setting up the system at this time. And then this one is still a lot of tools here. If I click on the help, you can see that this is very intuitive based on the command that you search. Each one of them, you click on the activity, for example, it tells you what is available for you, and then you just read it. At the same time, there's command line manual pages that you can open a command and just type in the command. Like for example, if you click on the show and click on terminal, this terminal comes in, and now if I just say host name, this is just Ubuntu cat etc/-release. I know that when I install it, it's going to be version 23.10, and then the code name is take a Minotaur. The same time to uname -r, you can see that it's 6.5 build. So there's a number of software will get installed here, but at the same time, if I close this one is now says install is ready to use, restart now. So notice that as I was going through this one was multitasking and installed it, installation complete. Now I'm gonna click on restart now. So we don't have this video for a long time. We're gonna have a better video short. So you have all the latest and greatest software of 23.10 is installed. Then once it comes back, and then we do the final setup, and then log in as the user that I created, which is Wahid. And then I'll justify to say what is the OS version, and then maybe change the desktop background or something. Whatever we want to do, we will show you that one next. So at this time it says, please remove the installation media and then press enter. So by by default, it should be unmounted. So I can go on the setting here and say, okay, for this one on the storage, is that mounted? It's not mounted here. So I could just say, go ahead, continue. When I go here, I press enter. It should detect that the ISO image was unmounted already. If it was there, ISO, you could right click on it, say unmount the ISO image, and then just boot it after. But let's see how long it takes for this screen. It should not be that long. It should be maybe less than a minute or two, and then the system should be up and running. So right now it's spinning. It looks like the hard part is that you don't know based on your resources, and the system doesn't know how fast it's going to load everything to all the bootable images of Ubuntu, all the device drivers, everything loaded, all the modules, the daemon starts. So, but it will just show this screen in a few seconds. We should see some kind of sound or some kind of startup or just a screen. If it goes to this black screen, you can just close it and then restart it again. The next time it might be fast. The first time, because it sets up all the environment stuff for you, it may take a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm gonna try to go to Zoom and let's just minimize this window. And I'm gonna pause this one, so once it comes back, then I know that it's available. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes that I'm seeing this black screen. So I'm gonna right click here on the task manager on Windows, and I open the processes to see what is VirtualBox doing here. As you can see, the VirtualBox machine, it is running, and it is 87% megabyte on the processes and 71% on memory as total memory is used. And then if I go on the performance, you can see the disk information, the I/O is happening here, as well as the memory. You can see that it is 9.2 gig available. Everything else is taken. And then for some reason, the Ubuntu is still a black screen. So what I'm going to do is minimize this window and then go back to the Ubuntu. If you click on the show, it does not show anything here. That means that there's something is hanging. So I'm gonna close this one, say, go ahead, power it off once, and then I'll just reboot it after. Now this power off, I'm going to start it again. So if I click on the start, this time it's not gonna just hang again because it should do it immediately. As you can see now, auto capture keyboard is on. So I'm gonna click on this one. I wanna just see the mouse integration. That one is on, and then this spinning is coming in like last time, but I believe this time it should not hang. Like you can see, it did not hang there for that long. So if it happens to you, you should just do the same thing. Power it off and power it on, and it clears the memory and everything that was loaded, and then you can log in with the password that you create. So I just logged in and now I'm on Ubuntu. So you can see by default when you start it, it says connect to your account on Google. At this time, I'm not gonna log into Google. So I'm gonna say skip that part. I'm going to say help improve Ubuntu. Yeah, that's fine. Send system to Canonical. I'm going to say next. Welcome to Ubuntu is not responding. So at that point, it already responded. Sometimes if it's your network connection, Wi-Fi versus Ethernet cable, that you have to worry about that one. I'm not installing any additional software like PyCharm or Slack or Spotify or Visual Studio Code, but I can always do that one at a later time. And then I'm going to say done on this part. Now you can see that it is on this interface. So if I want to change the background, for example, from this image, I can say change background and then choose another background like this. And notice it's nice background with a nature on the back. If you want to do another one, you can do whatever one you want to do. And then here, by default, it says you can do a sudo if you want to do change to root. I could become sudo. For my screen here, clear screen and say ID here, you can see that I'm logged on as Wahid. I'm not root yet. In order for me to do the system update or install any additional software, I need to become root. So ID-UN is username is Wahid. ID dash group name is also Wahid. So if I say sudo is u dash, then it's gonna prompt me for my password. And since my password is on the wing group, automatically I'm allowed to log in as root. So ID dash GN is also showing that. So if I say get end password and then root, then you can see that it's Ben Bash. But yeah, get end user Wahid, it is also showing my bash Wahid. So at this time, I'm going to just make the screen a little bit bigger, clear screen, and then say cat minus n etc os dash release. And notice that the OS release is Ubuntu 23.10. The OS name is Ubuntu. The distribution is Ubuntu. And then the name of the version is 23.10. The code name is Mantec Minotaur. And then this is the canonical documentation that if you have to search further. And these are the URL or the website where we downloaded ubuntu.com. And then if you do uname -r, it shows you the kernel build. 6.5 is the version that is the build. But uname -a gives you all parameters. Uname -m give you machine type. -p for platform. -v for version. Symmetric multi-processing, this one. -os Linux, and so on. And then -n, for example, is give you the node name, which is the host name, the same thing, our Unix or Ubuntu there. So let's clear this one. And then at this time, I'm going to run one command, say what version of Python I have. If I type in Python by itself, -uppercase V is going to say no such thing as Python. But if I say Python 3, then it's going to show that one, because which Python is not pointing to anything. Which Python 3 is pointing to user bin Python, which is file user bin Python 3. That one is a symbolic link to Python 3.11 and then 3.11, and that one is an executable link format. So whichever one, when you type in Python 3-uppercase V or Python 3.11, because one is symbolic link, the other one is a physical executable file, they both are showing that. But if I want to do like earlier, I type in this Python, I want to just say, okay, I could type in Python, I could say alias Python is equal Python 3. Now this alias is available Python, so I could say Python -v, it will show that, or dash version, it will show one version, one dash, two dashes, not three. So this is Python -- version, or you could type in Python and then we'll go to the Python interpreter, and then you could say print hello world, and then and whatever you write on this one, you could say, for example, for a num in a range of 10 times, you could say, go ahead, say print f, and then for every string that you want to do, you want to say num, and then followed by a colon, and say hello world. So we're going to do 0 through 9. That will just print hello world that many times, 10 times, which is 0 through 9, including 0, including. So you're going to do this, and then that is going to print that one, 0 through 9, and then hello world. But there's a lot of other things you could do with Python. I'm not going to show too much things on Python. Now notice alias Python is there. I'm with this root. If I exit out of this one, I'm on this one, alias Python doesn't exist. So in order for me to get it again, I could say alias Python is equal user bin Python 3, for example. I could do that one, or Python 3.11, or I could just have done uh, just like that, or I could have just put this one to only point to Python 3 like that. That also would have worked the same way. But if I just exit out of this one and then open another terminal, now my alias is gone because I did not save it. So I just open a new terminal. If I go Shift plus and Control Shift plus, make this one bigger. Now if I type in alias as ID dash UN as Wahid, I don't have an alias called Python, as you can see here. So if I say alias Python, it says no such alias. So in order for me to do it permanently, I could say echo $shell. My shell is user slash bin bash or PS, lowercase PS, lowercase, and then echo $shell or both pointing to bin bash. So if I say get end password Wahid, I know that I'm using bin bash. So since I'm using bin bash, that means if I cd to dot, I'm going to go to my home directory. Echo $pwd and echo home, they're all pointing to home Wahid. That means if I'm using bash, there's a hidden file called ls-la.bash.rc. And that file is called bash because I'm using the bash scripting. And then RC for run control. Dot is because it's hidden file. So if I say vim on .bash or C, if vim is not installed, I have to install it. You can see if vim is not installed. In order for me to install vim, I have to do sudo apt install vim. Sudo is for switch user do, and then I have to type in my password for user Wahid. And now I have the password. It's gonna try to install vim. And once Vim is installed, and now I can just run that earlier command to modify that .bash or C. So let me just do that one, clear screen here, and say which Vim, and then Vim dash dash version. You can see this the version that I just installed. It is available here, Vim VI improved 9.0. And all these other options and commands, the syntax are available for me. So I could just up arrow Vim and just say .bash or C, like earlier I did, now it's opening it. If I want to see line number, I say set number. And then now you can see the line number. So if I search, I say search for alias, I do that one now, alias are here, aliases, but then I want to just add here somewhere. So I could just copy one of the line, I press escape YY, it copied it. Now I'm gonna just change this one to Python and then change this one to Python 3. Since Python 3 is on the path, it finds it, and then I don't need to do absolute path here. This is automatically finding that one. And as you can see now, grep -i Python on the bash or C, I added this line here. So if I just say, show me the line number, you can see on line 94, I added that line. And then which Python 3, you can see that it is there. So the grep -i, the reason the 3 was not selected because I didn't put the string, but now it shows that I did this one. So at this time, if I just look at that .bash or C, I cannot say alias Python, it is not there yet. I have to run that code, .bash or C. By running it like this, now I just imported everything that was on the bash or C, including this line, 94. So now I can say Python dash dash version or Python dash V, everything is there. If I close my terminal, I open a new terminal. Now it's permanent on that file. So Shift Control Plus, I say Python dash V, it's going to run. Python dash dash version, it works. Python, it works. And then exit out of here, Python, quit. You can exit or enter like that is there. There's a lot of video I will do Python from the basics on Linux and Windows, which I have done net, and I'm going to do data structure. I'm going to cover a lot of the data structure, including set, list, string, tuples, data dictionary, class, and everything. And then I'll also do advanced, which is modules and object oriented, and a lot of the user-defined modules, a lot of the modularization of systems that are already there. So there's a lot on Python that I'll cover. For now, since we did this one, I'm gonna just clear my screen here, cd here, dot, dot, and then say grep minus I, Python 3, dot bash or C. You can see that line is there. So no matter how many times I exit out, that Python will be available. If you want to make it short for Python, you could just say like lspy is equal Python 3, and then that will also work. Pi dash v, it will just work like Windows. And then pi dash dash version works. And if you want to do some command line like a syntax, like for example, and instead of getting into the Python itself and as an interpreter, you want to do a command line, you could do pi dash C for command, and then you see here you could say print hello world. If you do that one and then just close it and then do that, and notice that it says hello world because I started with that double quote, and did not understand this one. In order for me to make this one, either make this one single quote and close it with single quote, like that, to just say that one, or if you want to double quote in both of them, then one of them you have to skip it, like a slash to just do that one, that would also do it. If you just did the other one, let me just clear the screen here. You can just, and instead of, if you want to do a skip here, and then you don't have to skip this one. So that double quote is important. That one did not translate well. That slash there, and so in order to do that one, I actually have to do a single quote. Single quote here, and then single quote here, then it would work. And then you can also do double quote here, and then single quote here. Because once you do single quote on the first one, then the outside is double quote, it would work. So at this time, if we want to use more than one statement, you could do also like Python minus C. You could say, for example, let's say double quote for num and range, and then I'm gonna say 10, 100, and then let's do 20 the differences, and then so it start from the 10, go up to the 100, and then increment 20, and then you could say print, and then at this time I'm gonna say the f string, and then say num is equal, and then just give the num value here, and then close the string, and then do that. And so somewhere I must have missed something. Let's see. I did for num is, oh yeah, this double quote there. The double quote we had to do because I started here and then that's the close there. So if I just go up arrow here and then sorry, up arrow here and then just go close this one, this will work right away. And if you change the code here, and instead of this, you could say go to let's say 10 and 20, the two numbers. You could say just print those two between 10 all the way to 19, increment of one number. But if you say increment of 5, then it's going to be shorter numbers, 10, 15, and then 20. Increment of 2 obviously is going to be shorter. And then you can do less comprehension and everything, but that's a different class. Let's see if GCC is installed, which GCC. So GCC is not installed, which G++. GCC is for C compiler, G++ is for GNU C++ compiler. So I'm gonna try to install that one also. And so I say apt install GCC. Apt sudo in front of it, apt install in GCC. This one is gonna prompt me for the password. I could have just done it once, and then the next time I didn't have to do the password again. If you sudo as root and then you do run the command as root, then you're done with it. The second time you don't have to prompt for it. So this is nice because at the same time while I'm installing the GCC, clear the screen. So now which GCC is there, GCC dash V for version, sorry, GCC dash version, it tells you the version, GCC dash lowercase v, lowercase v maybe. Yeah, so lowercase dash version is the command, dash v is also give you this information for the version here. And then if you want to get the verbose option, GCC dash version is the one. But since G++ is not installed, dash version is not going to work at this time. So I'm going to say apt sudo apt install G++. And that would automatically install it because last time I used sudo password that wasn't the environment memory. It just took it, and then now which G++ is there. Clear screen G++ attached that version, it is there. If I have to write a code for it, obviously I can do it and watch my other video that I posted yesterday. On that one, I give an example of right here on this one, an example of C and C++ as well. But I'm going to do one more because I don't want to just run this code for a long time. So let me do sudo dash. I become root now, and then I'm going to do apt update. You can run the apt update and apt upgrade together, and notice that it says run this command to get a list of upgrades there. So I'm going to say apt list dash upgradable. And then this is all the list of upgradable. So I'm going to say apt upgrade. And then it will just go through the upgrade. All those lists that were there, it's going to point out to the available software that needs to be upgraded. And then once that one is done, my system is up to date. And then I can also go on the software update here under the application software update. And then here I could check to see if my system is up to date or not. And then software update. So some of the software features, everything I can check also here. And then what is this one? This one, LibreOffice, software update, Pro. Okay, this is everything here. Chrome, I'm looking at the name here. This is a firmware if you want to upgrade it, calendar. There's a number of them available here also. But under software update and then system update, if you say upgrade options, and then you can see whatever tools that are available for you. And then there's RPMs and packages and other ones. So the system is done here. If I just go ahead and run this command again, it's going to say your system is already up to date. If I say update, it's going to say that your system is up to date. nothing else to do. All packages are up to date. At the same time, if I say RPM minus QA, this is not Red Hat, so you cannot run that command unless you install RPM package manager. But if you say apt application package toolkit list, you get all the packages that are available for you that are installed. If you do a word count minus L, there's 77,000 packages that are unlisted. And notice how fast this command runs when I do the app list. Look at how fast it runs. The system is very efficient. If you run top, for example, it shows the load average, the memory, everything all together. And if you do clear screen and free-h, human readable. At the same time, if I just do a snap list of all the packages that are there. So snap list of Firefox, it says Firefox is a part of this snap packages that you could just run it, which Firefox. So similarly for Chromium, similar for Opera, I could do a snap install, for example, Opera, or apt install code. So a lot of the packages you can do those ones. But since we did the updates, everything is system is up to date. And then I want to just run a few more commands here. Yeah, let's say which calendar. So calendar is not there, which in cal it is not there. So if you just are running this one and say cal is not, cal for calendar is not gonna show. It says do a sudo apt install cal, and now calendar is installed. Apt install ncal, not calendar. And that one will install a cal as well as calendar. So now if I say cal, it works. Cal minus j works. And then cal and cal works, and cal minus j for Julian format works. If I say give me the current calendar or give me the calendar of January 2024, so new year is coming and it's going to be on Monday, January 1st. That's how you know the date. So current date is Pacific Standard Time. My time is in Los Angeles. So everything looks good here. And then if I say uptime, and if I say free-h, ZFS is the file system that we installed, ZFS list, and then 5 more. You can see that the rpool and then boot and everything is there. Rpool and the root partition, the snaps and ZFS list also give you that information. Zpool command, you have all those options to create pools, and zpool list is to show you the pools that is available and everything. So and then the etc fstab file is having the detail of this one. So etc file system table, cat etc file system table, that's the file system. And then the one that is currently mounted is this device, and then it's mounted as swap, and more of them or somewhere here as rpool. So if I just do this one and say grep minus b, start with a pound, this one is basically telling to cat the content of fstab file, then grep out, which is a global regular expression print, minus v meaning verbose. Not verbose, it's show me everything except the one that is started with a pound. So all these pounds are not going to show. Only this line is the line that is just using swap for file system here on the ATCFS file. df-h also shows you in human readable all the information. And then if you want to do like inode number, df-hi, you get the inode number as well for it and everything. So there's a lot of commands here we could do. At this time, I think I'm done with this video. I'm gonna just shut down this one. You can do a shutdown -H now, or do a sync, semicolon sync, semicolon sync, and then do a shutdown. Snap sync is not installed. I could install it with some snap, so snap sudo snap install sync. That is gonna sync it. When you do syn, that's gonna also install sync. Oh, I was just typing syn rather sync. You have to type it sync with syn. But I just installed syn. Whatever that one is, I'm going to find out. So snap info syn is gonna give you that package syn. It says synthesis there. I wasn't looking for that one. I was looking for sync, and that one was working. So if I had not typo like this one, I type it correctly. This should have synced my I/O on the disk, and now my system is sync echo $question shows 0, meaning run successfully. Now I can do a shutdown -H now, and it will boot the system. So I can do that one just to show you, and then now the system is shut down. You can see how fast it was. But if I want to start it again and to say, well, I did that one, let me just make sure that my lists are done, everything that the system has upgraded and everything. And so I can just start it again and wait for it to come. It should be fast on the boot process also, not that slow. Let's see if it proved me right. I hope so. I don't want to see black screen for a while. Ubuntu developers, and my system is efficient, so um, it looks like it is taking a little bit time. Maybe I'm not patient enough to just even wait 10 seconds. That's not fair. I'll just wait 10, 20 seconds. It says it's running, but I'm not seeing any screen here. Okay, so I'm gonna close it again here. See if the power is starting up. After powering off, it should be fast enough. I think 20-second or 30-second, it was not the same every time. Sometimes it comes out much faster than 20-second. So auto capture, auto integration. I'm going to close these notifications. Save it fast. Somehow my thinking is the same as these resources. I'm glad that at least I could figure out that much after working on the computer for more than 30 years on the same kind of platforms. So open terminals, and then sometimes as human beings, there's your intuitive and as well as your knowledge and experience, it could kick in. So just listen to yourself, believe in yourself, trust in yourself. All of that comes in play. So here I'm just looking at the etc host file, for example, and I say, okay, let's just do a uname -a, uname -a, and then let's do a uname -r for belt, and then cat etcos release, and it's there 23.10. So everything is up to date on the system, and then clear alias. Python is still working. Python is still gonna drop me to Python because of the bash or C, and I can write anything here to work on it. And let's just do import math and say math.py, and then math dot square root of 100, and then math dot how of 2 to the power of 10 to the square root. That should give you 1024. Let's see why it didn't do it. Math.pow 2 comma square root of 100. The square root of 100. Okay, so I have to do math dot square root of 100 because this one is square root. Earlier we did here. When we did it, we did math dot square root, meaning that math is the module and the square root is the method, and then the value we pass on was 100. This time we say math.pow to the power of 10. So this is equivalent to saying to the power of 10. That's 1024. But if I just want to calculate something else like a math dot square root of 16, 16 is going to return 4, square root of it, and to the power of 4 is 16 back there. So you could just get that information to the power of 10, or just saying to the power of 4 like this, as 16. So those kind of modules are all available. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned it, and you can easily just change your terminals preferences here. You come in here, click on colors, and just choose whichever method. I'm fine with this one. I'm not going to do it. If you want to change your desktop, click on the change desktop, and right here you have options of whichever one you want, and then select that one. And God bless you all. Take care. Have fun. Bye-bye. Please make sure that you go to our website and then go to MyWebUniversity, watch my online book that I wrote, about 11 chapters of this book to teach you Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat, SUSE, a lot of videos and all documentation here. For example, for Linux Ubuntu, this manual pages, I wrote about 6,500 technical manual pages that were on Linux Ubuntu. I wrote the PDF version of it for you on my website. All you need is a desire to learn, and then come in on my website. And then the website, I have this PDF files generated for you. It's available for it. Whichever section you want to go, section 1 through section 9, all of them on this nice table. You click on it and you read the manual pages. But there's a lot on the website, as well as if you go to the videos, make sure you subscribe and enjoy it. And you could see about more than 1,200 videos. The shorts are also good training, but I have at least 400, 500 videos. Some of them are 6 hours long, some of them are 2 hours, some of them are 15 minutes or something. But enjoy learning it, and God bless you all. Take care. Love and peace to all humanity. Please save the innocent children and help the innocent children, no matter where they come from or where they live at. Always have fairness to everybody around the world. That's how God created all of us, and God is the ultimate judge. We should not judge each other. We should love and cherish humanity and help each other. My job is to pass on my knowledge, and hopefully I'm hoping that whatever I learn, I pass it to the younger communities, and then the younger communities someday pass it on to the future generation, and it will go forever, and then we all help each other. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.